Excited yet?
Yeah, very excited. We just left Fairbanks and got our last latte for the next couple days. So, all standard Starbucks. We live going to local coffee shops, but Starbucks is great in a pinch. And off we go. Woohoo!
On the Dalton Highway!
Yeah, hey, we're just a little excited. We're at the Dalton Highway sign and we are on an epic road trip. So all in all, by the time we have left Talkeetna and we'll return home, it'll be about 1,500 miles. We just passed the sign. We couldn't do an intro there because this road is all about the truckers, and there was a trucker stopped there with the engine going. So this is an amazing opportunity for us. We're going to go all the way up to Deadhorse and where the Arctic Ocean is. Some of the things we'll see along the way are Adigan Pass, the Alaska pipeline, possibly wildlife, and we're totally looking forward to it. So some of the challenges on this road or on this journey are going to be that said wildlife and those said truckers and
Sleeping in the back of the truck for the first time.
yeah, we're all set up there, but we'll see how that goes.
Plus, trying to get to the Arctic Ocean, you need to schedule it and book in advance, which we did, but the only thing that was open was a 3:30 time slot tomorrow. So we've got to get from Fairbanks all the way up to Deadhorse in about a day and a half.
Yeah, and that's about 500 miles on gravel, rough, potholy roads. We also waited today because yesterday they had really tons of, bad weather, flood
Flooding.
warnings, and so we put off our trip for a day, and now it's 78 degrees out here.
Hot.
Yeah, it's 78 degrees in Alaska, north. We're almost 100 miles north of Fairbanks already.
Yes, it feels hot, and I know that's not hot, but
is hot
it
for
feels
us.
hot when you've had 60-degree weather as your high.
That's hot for us. Anyway, we're super excited, and so come along with us on this adventure.
So how fast are you driving?
I'm driving about 40. The speed limit is 50, but there's a lot of potholes and it's pretty jarring to hit those straight on. It's pretty hard packed in most spots, but yeah, I'd say going under the speed limit is a good thing. I haven't really gotten past that much either, only when I pull over, so I think most people are going right between 40 and 50.
So what do you do when it gets really monotonous when you're driving?
We like to listen to some audiobooks. Right now we're listening to the Bosch series, Bosch Detective Series. That's pretty interesting. Rhonda loves murder mysteries and I like them too. So it's a great way of being able to listen to something and not get bored. Keep your mind active.
So hey, if you're out there and you also like that kind of audiobook, put something in a comment. Let us know if you've got a great book you recommend.
It's a little hard to see that, but that's a painting of a bear butt in that window. And years ago, they had a bear that tried to get in the Yukon River camp from there, and they had to board up the window after that. Wildlife in Alaska, gotta love it. Lucy and I are gonna dip our toes into the Yukon River.
Good luck getting her to do it.
We're at the Yukon River Camp, and this is the massive Yukon River. She is not a water dog. Well, there's no denying how important the Yukon River is. It's very important for subsistence living, for fishing, and for transportation. Those folks behind me back there have they pass us on the road with a truckload full of stuff and couch, and they're heading up on the boat. It's about 30 miles upriver to the village of Stevens, and she's gonna go visit her sister up there. Her sister lives there year-round. That family back there lives in Fairbanks year-round, but they like to go up there and spend the summers. So different mode of transportation. They're taking household goods and couch, and I love Alaska and our modes of transportation.
What's going on?
So we have a very slow leak in the aft right tire, and so next pull out I'm gonna pull over and either change it, yeah, I'll probably just change it out, get it repaired in Coldfoot when we can. So, let's pull that right there. We're on the road again after having a flat tire, and now we don't have a spare, but I do have a plug repair patch kit thing, so hopefully, fingers crossed. I'd rather take the tire that needs to be plugged into Coldfoot and have someone else do it, but if necessary, I can pull over and figure out how to plug that tire. They do recommend that you have two full-size spares mounted, but those tires are so big, it takes up a lot of room in the back of the truck that we don't really have. It's a trade-off. Hey, we made it to the Arctic Circle. Rhonda was getting inundated with mosquitoes, as she always does. But here we are. It's been a long day so far, and we had to change a tire. But like I said, it's not an adventure unless you have something that makes an obstacle in your way. But we've been traveling on the Dalton Highway, and you might wonder, well, what is that? Why is it even there? Why does this road go all the way up to Deadhorse? Well, it was designed when the pipeline was put in as a way of hauling material, and is still used to this day because of the oil fields up in Prudhoe Bay and Deadhorse. So the truckers haul stuff back and forth up there, and it's open year-round, so even in the winter you can drive this road. The road was built in 1974 and it was completed after 5 months. A pipeline was constructed in 1974 and completed in 1977 at a cost of $8 billion.
We are eating at Coldfoot. It's at 8 o'clock at night. Got our car fixed, got a beautiful drive-in. It's a gorgeous day. We're both really tired because we've just been sitting all day. So we decided to stay here and camp.
Yeah, so here's the situation. We have a 3:30 reservation tomorrow for the Arctic Ocean shuttle, but yeah, we need to get the tire fixed, and we could do a call out tonight, and it'll cost $125. Not ideal, but if we don't do that, we'll have to wait till after 8 o'clock tomorrow to have it done, and then we'll definitely miss the Arctic Ocean shuttle if we do that. we hate being rushed and everything, and even if we left at 6, so as slow as these roads are, we may not make it anyway. So yeah, we decided we were going to camp at Marion Creek, 5 miles up, and we will probably on the way back. But here we are, we're going to camp at Coldfoot and eat really good food. We were going to have leftover soup, but this looks really good. This is what you drink when you're out in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, and you want a little bit of pink wine. Yum. This is actually a really nice setting though. Let's see, what do you think? Hey, we're gonna try out our sleeping in the back of the truck for the first time. We're just trying to figure it out. Then I gotta close the tailgate and get in. Right, well, this is the big town of Coldfoot. This is Coldfoot Camp, and this is where we camped last night. So you can pretty much camp anywhere around here. And we're gonna wheel around, go back over to the cafe, because that's where you go ask about getting your tire repaired. And we couldn't get the tire repaired last night. Unfortunately, mechanics were off doing their own thing and couldn't be reached by phone. And so we had to wait till 8 o'clock this morning to get the tire repaired. We just can't keep going up the road without a really good spare tire. So it pretty much puts the nail in the coffin as far as doing the Arctic Ocean shuttle. But we knew that might be the case, and it's still an amazing drive with lots to see still. And how we sleep last night in the back of the truck. Pretty good, actually. Hey, we are sipping coffee and tea and waiting for the truck to be fixed. So the lady in the cafe, this is the cafe by the way, had to call the tire guy to come. So I'm not sure they actually staff it unless they're called. So
8 o'clock
turns
last
into 9
night,
o'clock.
turned into no show, turned into 8 o'clock this morning, turned into 9 o'clock. But it's Alaska, and
So it is.
we kind of just have to roll with it.
That's right. So I canceled our Arctic Ocean shuttle, so that won't be happening this time, but hey, we'll try to get up there to the Arctic Ocean next year by
Maybe another way.
by way of,
We're not saying.
okay, I was going to, but never mind.
We'll get
A
there
different
somehow.
way, yeah. But hey, part of the fun of this type of trip is not the destination. The Arctic Ocean would have been cool, but you know, honestly, it's a body of water, and it might have been a little anticlimactic anyway. But part of the fun for us is meeting really cool people, which we have. So last night here for dinner, you know, we were starting to chat with a couple four guys from Chicago that are all here touring or doing this whole trip
They
by
actually,
motorcycle.
Yeah, rental.
We were
motorcycle.
rental motorcycle from Anchorage, and they insisted on buying us a beer last night, so we sat with them for a while, and that was fun, and we'll probably see them on the road later on today. Well, there are two places you want to fill up for gas, Coldfoot and Deadhorse. Our truck actually has a 36-gallon tank and good gas mileage, so we could have made it up to Deadhorse, but don't want to take that chance. We're filling up at $5.49 a gallon. Yikes.
This is the main hub. I mean, this is town. There's a little post office right over there. You'll miss it if you blink. And then the restaurant / restrooms for overnighting. And then camping is wherever your eyes look. And they have lodging over there.
The very rustic lodging was actually built during the pipeline, so pipeline workers stayed here, and then they've turned this into lodging up here. It's very basic, and it'll cost you a couple $100 a night. Doesn't look like much from the outside, but I guess the insides are clean. That's all you really need in a place like this. While we're in this fine town of Coldfoot, the first time it was kind of recorded as the name of it was way back in 1933 when some foresters got as far as the Koyukuk River, which this is near, and they didn't go any further because they got cold feet. So that's maybe how the town got its name. Anyway, our tire is fixed and we're gonna head north. How much do you think that cost us? Oh, only $50 to have the tire plugged. Yeah, I might have been able to do it myself. Yeah, these guys got all the right tools and everything. So we were
Compared to, what did you pay in Ajo, $10?
15, yeah, yeah, maybe 15 in other places to have a hole plugged in the tire. That's all right. And we just talked to our four motorcycle friends, and they were very impressed that we slept in the back of the truck, and they were like, yeah,
Kind of jealous.
yeah, they were kind of jealous. Like, I think we would have rather saved the $220 a night for the room. They said it was 5-star all the way. They're like, yeah, right. So
and less
and
smelly.
smelly. Yeah, it was kind of smelly. So they said, yeah, the back of our truck was probably less smelly. So there you go. That's what $220 will buy you on the Dalton Highway.
Well, they wanted showers.
Yeah, we might want one too soon. Well, I find this stuff so interesting since I've been playing hiking guide this summer, and we've left the boreal forest. Kind of sort of ends around the Arctic Circle, and now we're way north of the Arctic Circle. But this sign says where the tundra begins and where the forest ends. We'll still see some trees up this direction, but not very many, and they're going to be really super tiny. But there's trees here. You know, they're really small, not so much these, but the spruce up here that are 200 to 300 years old, and they might only have a diameter of 8 inches, 10 inches. So nothing grows very fast up here. So these trees that where you're from might look to be 20 years old or very old here. We just saw our friends on motorcycles and we're playing leapfrog with them a little bit. We're actually surprised they were able to catch up with us, but we stop a lot to take photos because this is amazing. It's gorgeous. But I imagine it was pretty slow for them through all that mud. They said it was all right. That's sliding around a little bit. I wouldn't want to do that on a motorcycle. Well, hey, we wanted to tell you about this place we're staying tonight. We decided not to go to Deadhorse. We went and checked out Galbraith Campground. It's a BLM campground, and it is so gorgeous. So we decided, screw it, let's not drive the rest of the 140 miles to Deadhorse. Really.
Well, we knew that when we delayed our trip a day that it was going to be difficult to make Deadhorse. But we don't regret doing that because it was really nasty weather, and so our drive up would have just been like slogging through mud and rain the whole way rather than enjoying the scenery, and putting our lives at risk, literally, with the truckers and stuff.
But we're gonna drink a little bit of wine, have some dinner here soon, and we'll show you our camping setup in the back of the truck before we go to bed tonight.
Yeah, so you'll want to see what we have for dinner too. It's pretty special.
It's pretty gourmet. Ha! Easy stuff. Beef stroganoff with noodles. I've slaved over it for hours. This is our camp cooking setup. We have our jet boil, which heats water up really super fast with this tiny canister. And we actually have our Coleman grill in the back too if we needed it. It has a burner top and a tea kettle. This only boils 2 cups of water. I don't even think we're going to use that. This is perfectly fine for everything that we need right now, and it's super easy. Easy is good when you're camping like this in the back of your truck and don't want dishes. Huh, they don't tell you there's a desiccant in here. Do not eat. I'm just going to throw the water in here and find this when I'm ready to take a bite. Yeah, that's not awesome. How was it?
It's okay. It's passable for beef stroganoff, but it's pretty windy out here and cool. So it's not as hot as you probably would like it. If I was at home, I'd throw this in the microwave.
Jesus. Can she be more critical about my cooking?
No, the cooking's fine.
Actually, it looks disgusting, but it tastes pretty good.
Disgusting.
I'm gonna go eat mine.
I'm hungry though. I'll eat just about anything. Welcome to our abode, or at least our nighttime abode. We are sleeping in the back of our truck on a platform, and although it's a bit, I would say, hard, despite having pads It's pretty comfortable, and space-wise, it's like a two-person tent. So not unlike sleeping on the ground, except no rocks. The other thing that we have is, you can't see them very well, but we have reflectix on our side windows. And this can be pulled back, and then the windows slide open with screened-in windows. So plenty of air up here by our heads. And this keeps the dust out, but it actually rolls up, and we Velcro it to the ceiling. So it's totally out of our way when we're in here sleeping. The other thing is that this all comes up and the canopy top comes down. And how do we secure it? Well, that's for us to know and you to find out. Not really. It's just, we can literally turn it on the inside, but we have a way of preventing it from being opened if somebody or something wanted to try to open the canopy door while we're inside. So we can secure it that way, and we can get in and out. As far as pass-through, this canopy has a pass-through window, but it's really the size that you could stick a hand through. Maybe a small child could crawl all the way through, but we are not that size. So we cannot take that as an escape route. Our escape route is literally either through a side window or this way. So the bigger thing is we do have some security back here. We keep bear spray right here. We also have a fire extinguisher back here and some other defensive tools should the need arise. And with that, I think it's about time that we hit the hay. Despite all the sunlight, it's really pretty late. Are you enjoying sleeping in the back of the truck?
I am actually, probably more than you are.
Oh, I can see out.
It's pretty outside.
It is.